Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's a little more sturdy than the last one.
Well, had one way to go. Had one way to go.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is a warning that it's time to get started. Well, we could, Jewish on time might be in another 15 minutes.
Right. Well, welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I'll say, so unfortunately, the air conditioning in the chapel needs repair, which is why we're in here. But I just wanted folks to know that we're doing some work on the HVAC system. So if you're on that side of the room, there is no working HVAC. So if you're a little warm, there's a reason for it. And these people are all very chilly, in fact. So, great, okay, good. And if anyone's feeling like, really flexible, I really love the chapel because we get to be a little closer together. So if anyone wants to come closer, you'll make me happy. But nice to see all of you. We're going to get started with the candle lighting. Bob,
Yes.
do you want to lead it? Okay.
Yes.
So we're very, very lucky to have Bob Davidson leading us in Kabbalat Shabbat this evening. And he's going to get us started with the candle lighting.
Are you coming up to light the candles?
We can rise as we are able to join in the blessing for the lighting of the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu lahadlik ner Vitzivanu lahadlik ner Vitzivanu lahadlik ner Shel Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam.
Shabbat Shalom, we may be seated, and we turn to Yedid Nefesh on page 12.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman Mishach Avdecha El Ritzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Ayal Yishtach Avde'el Muhadarecha Terav lo Yedidutecha Mino Fetzuf V'koltam Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yai bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yai bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yai bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yabba bye 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 Yai bye bye bye.
Page 16, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn to page 20 and recite responsively.
Okay. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song in the wind and joy in the trees.
The Sabbath arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day.
Where are the words that could compete with such might?
6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things of space. On the Sabbath we try to become attuned to the holiness in time.
6 days a week we wrestle with the world, bringing profit from the earth. On the Sabbath, we especially care for the seed of eternity planted in the soul.
The world has our hands, but our souls belong to someone else.
6 days a week, we seek to dominate the world. On the seventh day, we try to dominate the self.
To set apart a day a week, a day on which we would not use the instruments so easily turned into weapons of destruction. A day for being with ourselves, a day on which we stop worshiping the idols of technical civilization, a day on which we use no money, a day of armistice in the economic struggle with others and with the forces of nature. Is there any institution that holds out a greater hope for human progress than the Sabbath? We turn to page 22, L'chuna Ranana.
L'chuna Ranana l'Adonai Nariya Litzur Yishenu Nikadma Fanav B'toda Bizmiro Nariya Lo Nikadma Fanav B'toda Bizmiro Nariya Lo Ki El Gadol Adonai Umelech Gadol Kol Elohim Asher Beyado Mechere Aretz V'toath Harim Lo Asher Beyado Mechere Aretz V'toath Harim Lo.
Okay, we'll turn back to page 804 and recite responsively.
This prayer alone is not enough. We cannot only pray to you, O God, to end war, for we know that you have made the world in such a way that we must find the path to peace within ourselves and with our neighbors.
We cannot only pray to you, O God, to end starvation, for you have already given us the resources with which to feed the entire world, if we would only use them wisely.
We cannot only pray to you, O God, to root out prejudice, for you have already given us eyes with which to see the good in all people, if we would only use them wisely or rightly.
We cannot only pray to you, O God, to end despair, for you have already given us the power to clear away slums and to give hope, if we would only use our power justly.
We cannot only pray to you, O God, to end disease, for you have already given us great minds with which to search out cures and healings, if we would only use them constructively.
Therefore, we pray to you instead, O God, for strength, determination, and willpower, to do instead of only to pray, to become instead of merely to wish.
For your sake and for ours, speedily and soon, that our land and world may be safe, and that our lives may be blessed.
May the words that we pray and the deeds that we do be acceptable before you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. We turn back to page 34. We rise as we are able.
Havu Adonai, Mizmor LeDavid. Havu Adonai, B'nai Elim. Havu Adonai, Kavod Vos. Havu Adonai, Kivod Shemo. Hishtachavu Adonai, Behadrat Kodesh. Kol Adonai, Ahamayim, El HaKavod, Hirim, Adonai, Amayim, Amayim, Rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach, Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai, Edar Zehalvanon, Vayarkidem, Kimo Egel, Livanom, Visfirion, Kimo Ben Re'emim, Kol Adonai, Chotzei Lavavish, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Yecholel Hayalot, Ve'yechesof, Ye'aro, Uvechechalo, Kulo, Omer Kavod, Adonai, Lamabul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai, Melech Le'olam, Adonai Os Le'amo Yitem, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Bashalom.
We may be seated. We turn to page 38 as we sing Lecha Dodi.
Okay, and we're going to do the first two verses on page 38 and the first verse and the last two verses on page 40. The last verse we rise and welcome the Shabbat. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabla. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shemo tiferet v'lichila Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabla. Likrat Shabbat L'chuven elcha Ki hor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha soch ma'asev machashava techila lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabla. Hitoreri, kiva ore, kumi ori, shir daberi, Kavod Adonai, alayich nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat bekabla, yamin usmol, tifrotzi, Vied Adonai ta'aritzi al yadish ben parsi v'nismecha v'nagila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla Boi b'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzahala tochemune am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla.
We may be seated. We turn to page 42, and I believe we'll be starting on the fourth line from the bottom.
Yes. Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'eretz balvanim Yiskeh shetulim beveit Adonai behatrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvu b'seva d'sheni v'rananim Yiyu lahagi ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo.
We turn to page 50 and rise as we are able for the Baruch Hu as we begin the evening service. That one opens.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavora. Baruch Adonai Hamavora Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bivaro Ma'ariv Aravim B'chachma Pateach Sha'arim Uvitbuna Meshane Itim, Umachalif et Hazmanim, Umasader et Hakochavim, Misrotehem, Barakia Kirtsono, Borei Yom V'Laila, Goleo Or Mipnei Choshech, V'Choshech Mipnei Or. Uma'avir Yom, Umevi Laila, Umaftir Ben Yom Uvein Laila, Adonai Tzavot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu, Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. It's in there someplace.
We may be seated. Page 52.
Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavita Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Aken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shachbenu u'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hei chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'avatcha t'sim imenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen. Top of 54. The Shema. Oh,
I have
you
a
do.
reading first.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bob has a reading.
It's called I Have Plenty of Time. My wife's laughing because she says I should listen to it. Okay. I went out, Lord. Men were coming and going, walking and running. Everything was rushing. Cars, trucks, the street, the whole town. They were rushing after time, to catch up with time, to gain time. Goodbye, sir. Excuse me. I haven't time. I'll come back. I can't wait. I haven't time. I must end this letter. I haven't time. I'd love to help you, but I haven't time. I can't accept having no time. I can't think. I can't read. I'm swamped. I haven't time. I like to pray, but I haven't time. You understand, Lord. They simply haven't the time. The child is playing. He hasn't time right now. Later on. The schoolboy has his homework to do. He hasn't time. Later on. The student has his courses and so much work. Later on. The young man is at his sports. He hasn't time. Later on. The young married man has his house he has to fix it up. He hasn't the time. Later on. They're dying. They have no time. Too late. They have no more time. And so all men run after time, Lord. They pass through life running, hurried, jostled, overburdened, frantic, and they never get there. They still haven't time. In spite of all their efforts, they're still short of time, of a great deal of time. Lord, you must have made a mistake in your calculations. There's a big mistake somewhere. The hours are too short, the days are too short, our lives are too short. You who are beyond time, Lord, you smile to see us fighting it. And you know what you're doing. You make no mistakes in your distribution of time to men and women. You give each one time to do what you want him or her to do. But we must not deface time, waste time, kill time. For a time is a gift that you give us, but a perishable gift, a gift that does not keep. Lord, I have time. I have plenty of time. All the time you gave me. The years of my life, the days of my years, the hours of my days. They're all mine, mine to fill quietly, calmly, but to fulfill completely up to the brim.
Beautiful.
I think we lost somebody.
Please turn to page 54 for the Shema.
Okay. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We can do Vayomer together on page 58. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta lehem v'yasu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bidehem lidorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakana b'til techelet v'haya lachem l'tzitzit Uritem oto, uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu, acharei lovechem, v'acharei nechem, asher atem zonim, achareihem, Leman tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim, le'elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Okay, give me a moment. Please turn to page 132. Actually, I don't have the prayer here that I thought we had. We'll go back. Let's go to page 60 for Mi Kamocha. In English, responsively, page 61 first. True and certain it is there's one God incomparable, and that we, the household of Israel, are God's people.
It is God who redeemed us from the might of tyrants, delivering us from slavery unto freedom.
Great are the things which God has done, with wonders which are without number.
Delivering our ancestors from Egyptian bondage, inspiring hope and faith in every generation.
May God continue to protect our people and guard all humankind from disaster.
When the children of Israel beheld God's might, they gave thanks and praised the divine name.
They accepted God's sovereignty willingly and sang in joyous thanksgiving.
Moses and the children of Israel proclaimed in great exultation.
Who is like you, O Lord, among the mighty? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, revered in praises, doing wonders?
Israelites at the sea, your children beheld your majesty and power.
This is my God, they exclaimed and said, the Lord shall reign forever and ever.
As you delivered the children of Israel from a mightier power, so may you redeem all your children from oppression.
Praise for you, O Lord, Redeemer of Israel. U'malchuto b'ratzon kilu alehem, Moshe b'nei Yisrael chanu shira, b'simcha rabba v'yamru kulam, Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, norati lo osef eleh, malchutecha rov anecha bokei yam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar kifada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalom Yakazak Mimenu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 62, Hashkivenu.
Okay. You all could do a tune for that? You want to lead us in that one?
Whatever you,
Go ahead.
you're welcome to.
No, go ahead.
Okay. You want me to sing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the song? Yeah. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim Uvrasalenu Sukat Shalmach V'Taknenu Mitzvah Tova Milfanecha.
Ushmor teitenu leinu chaim el shalom etav yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalom echa baruch ata Adonai hapareh sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'el Yerushalayim.
We rise as we are able on page 64 for Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We turn to the Chatzi Kaddish, page 66. We may be seated.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ויעמד יברכותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון ימיכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל ועגלה ויזמן קריא ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ליום יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם יתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירם ביעלמה ואמרו אמן.
The silent Amidah begins on page 69. We recite the Amidah on our own in the Hebrew or the English or the prayers of our hearts, continuing through page 76.
77. Page 77 in English together. O Lord, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking guile. And to those who slander me, let me give no heed. May my soul be humble and forgiving to all. Open my heart, O Lord, to your sacred law, that your statutes I may know and all your truths pursue. Frustrate the designs of those who seek to do me ill. Speedily defeat their aims and thwart their purposes. For the sake of your glory and your power, for the sake of your holiness and law, that your loved ones may be delivered, O Lord, and answer me and save with your redeeming power. May the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. O source of peace and harmony in the universe, grant peace together and to the household of Israel.
Amen.
Together, O say shalom. O say shalom, b'romam, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu, v'yachol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. O say shalom, b'romam, v'ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'yachol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
Shkach.
Please turn to page 82.
You do fantastic. Page 82.
From Magen Avot. Magen Avot bidvaro mechaye metim b'mamaro ha'el hakadosh she'ein kemohu hameniach le'amo b'yom Shabbat kadsho kivam ratzah lehaniach lahem, kivam ratzah lehaniach lahem, lefanav navod be'yirah lefachad, v'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid mein habarachot el ha'oda'ot Adon HaShalom Mekadesh HaShabbat Uvarech Shavi Umeniach Biktusha Liamedu Shnei Oneg Shecher Zecher L'maaseh Bereshit. Turn back to page 80 for Vayachulu. Vayachulu Hashamayim V'haaretz V'chol Tzivam Vayachol Elohim Bayom Hashvi'i Malachto Asher Asa Vayishot Bayom Hashvi'i Mikol Melachto Asher Asa Vayivarech Elohim Et Yom Hashvi'i Vayikadesh Oto Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto Asher Bara Elohim Asher Bara Elohim Lasot.
We rise as we are able for Kiddush. We turn to page 90.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kicham mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'Shabbat kodesho, b'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishi, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, yotanu kidashta, mikol v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
Chaim, Shikoach. Shikoach Bob. We may be seated.
Okay,
And we'll
You have a
to our
portion?
Torah now. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll skip mine.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Wait, you prepared something?
No, I just got something I've read before. Go ahead.
Name that tune. And this is going to be easier for you if you're a Shabbat morning person as opposed to a Friday night. But, we'll see. Name that tune. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. Anyone? Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai. Familiar, anyone? Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. No? So this is the tune that we sing when we chant from the Song of the Sea, Shirat Hayam, as we're reading it in the Torah. So why, we might ask, am I singing it tonight? Well, there is a tradition of using that tune at one other spot in the Torah, one other place in the Torah, and that's a place that we're going, that we read in our Parsha from this week. Before I tell you what we read to that melody, let's think about that melody a little bit. We usually read it to the Song of the Sea. It's this triumphant moment, right? The children of Israel have just crossed the sea on dry land. They've just been saved. And we sing, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. It's a really, as I said, it's a triumphant moment. It's a special moment. We're reading this grand poetry. In tomorrow's Torah reading, we do not have grand poetry. What might we expect from that melody? Anyone? Here, let me grab the microphone. Apologies. What might we expect? Great. Sherry says something exciting, right? Something really memorable. Great. Something really memorable, something special. Let me read to you the words that we use for that melody. Vayis'u me'elim vayachanu b'yam suf, vayis'u me'yam suf vayachanu b'midbar sin. I'll translate it. They traveled from Elim, they camped in Yam Suf. They traveled from Yam Suf, they camped in Sin. They traveled from Midbar Sin, they camped in Dovka. They traveled from Dovka, they camped in Elush. I will spare you the rest of it. In other words, what was I just reading? It's a travelogue. Great. It's a travelogue without the commentary most of the time. So, why, we might ask, we should ask, why might there be a tradition of chanting this travelogue? Vayis'u me'elim vayachanu b'yam suf Vayisume Am Suv, da 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 da, and on and on and on. Why do we chant it with this glorious melody? Yeah, Mimi.
It's all right, it's short. It sounds almost like a march.
Oh, and this isn't turning on. It sounds like a march. Fantastic. It sounds like a march. Okay, so it sounds like a march, and why might we want a march to chant while we're marching? Yeah. We're wandering through the desert. Fantastic. So we're wandering through the desert, and there's something about this wandering that's not just rote or routine. There's something grand or special about it. You're suggesting, maybe. Okay. But in any event, we're trying to feel like there might be something special about it because we're doing it to a march. That's nice. Okay. Maybe it gives us some pep to our step as we wander for those 40 years. Other thoughts? Why the beautiful tune? There's no wrong answers, folks. No wrong answers. Yeah, Gail.
When there is a tune to a melody that you're singing, people remember the words better.
Great. So if you have a list of places that's not so easy to remember, if you sing them beautifully, then maybe we can actually really remember this, right? Anyone heard, the tune, the Tom Lehrer tune to the periodic table, right? Yeah, okay. So, great. We can remember boring things if we sing them interestingly. What else? Yeah, Michael.
All right, if this is the tune for the crossing of the Red Sea, or Reed Sea, it's a triumphal moment, and while you're schlepping through the desert, it's not very triumphal, and this helps it go a little faster and a little better.
Okay. So, the beginning of this journey was this really dramatic moment. This is the continuation of that same journey, right? Israelites were on their way out of Egypt to the land of Israel. Part of it involved, a sea splitting, and part of it involved going from one place to the other and the other and the other. It's part of the same journey. So, maybe in some ways we can remember the really special parts, right? And maybe we want to in some ways make the rest recognize that the rest of the journey is also special, right? Maybe there's something special and we're reminding ourselves that this is part of the same journey. It can be hard to stay excited and interested when some of the drama goes away, right? And yet, some of what happens later is perhaps just as important, right? They're on their way to the promised land. Okay, what else? No wrong answers, folks. Sherry? Yeah.
This is said when they're marching around for 40
Yeah.
years. That was almost a punishment march. And at least this, because God wanted the generation that was slaves to sort of die off.
Right. So they didn't have to be there, right? This could have been avoided, potentially. And yet, maybe there's some learning that's involved in this, right? There's something significant about this march. We don't want to skip over it, right? We want to remember it. Okay. Yeah, Michelle.
Lifting the monotony of slavery from where they were.
Interesting. So maybe the monotony of travel versus the monotony of slavery. Well, which one do you want to be in, right? Okay. They sometimes did want to go back. So it's interesting. When we chanted, we actually chanted in this way that's really trying to uplift. There's something special about this journey. They are free, right? We don't want to lose that.
Yeah, I wanted to just remember, they don't know where they're going. In other words, every day when they start, it's because the cloud has moved, and they don't know when the cloud is going to move or where it's going to move. So this is sort of not only a drudgery through the desert, but it's almost wandering blindfolded.
Right. It's hard to stay upbeat when you don't know what's going to happen next. Are we there yet? Right? And yet they do know their final destination. Right? They do know where they're ultimately trying to get to, and maybe that's what can give some of that sense of grandiosity, right, to that journey. Any other thoughts? Okay, those are some lovely some lovely insights. I think there's a few things here. One is, I think that the people who kind of developed this system of chanting may have wanted to also remind us, the reader, that that there's a reason for each of these verses, each of these words, right? There's a tradition that every word in the Torah is there for a reason. And that even the verses that might seem to be boring, right? Oh, we can skip over those. It's just a list of places, might in some ways have something in them, right? And so this melody is there to remind us, okay, let's pay attention. Let's find what it is, right? I think that in these insights tonight, we found some ideas of what that could be and why it really matters to say, oh, they did all of this traveling. They went to all of these different places, and maybe something happened to them at these places, even if we're not reading about it right here. And I think also that in some ways we're bookending this journey, right? We're beginning our reading about this journey with this grand melody, and we're ending it with this grand melody, again, to remind ourselves this is part of one journey, and that journey can be torturous, right? Journeys can be torturous, and journeys can also be joyful, right? And part of it depends on your perspective. Rabbi Tzvi Hirsch Weinreb wrote, aimless wandering with no end in sight is torture. Michael, there you go. But a journey with a clear destination, on the other hand, is a wondrous experience, or I would say can be a wondrous experience, despite its many obstacles. But with the vision that's promised to us, with the delineation of the exact borders and the boundaries of our land, which comes in this Torah portion, all of the suffering along the way somehow becomes worthwhile. The lengthy list of way stations becomes transformed into the lyrics of a triumphant marching song. And ultimately, I think that this is a nice reminder that we are wired to look for drama, to look for the things that are exciting, right? Whether it's good or bad, right? Rubbernecking is a real phenomenon, right? We look when it's good, we look when it's bad. And sometimes actually being dull isn't such a bad thing, right? A lot of things happened to the Israelites in the desert that aren't so great. Maybe it's not such a bad thing that there wasn't enough that happened in any one particular place that we didn't get a whole story about it. And sometimes that time can be sweet too. And I think this melody can also remind us of that. The beauty and the sweetness that can come from routine, and that hopefully we can find it. So Shabbat Shalom. And I'll invite Bob back up to lead us in Aleinu We Rise as We Are Able.
I'm going to ask the Millers to come with the honor of opening the ark.
Thank you, Bob.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'atei kedula yoseh bereshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishlochot adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gora leinu v'chol amonam v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסף הארץ יושב יקרה בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים Hu Eloheinu Eino Em Elokeinu Efesu Kakatu V'Torato V'Yadatayu ידעתיים, והשבת אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחתינו. It's in there someplace.
Yes. Got it.
It gets tangled. כי המלכות שלך היא ומעטימך בכבוד, כך כתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
We may be seated. During Shloshim, we lovingly remember Jerry Kaplan, husband of Barbara Kaplan, father of Wendy Leons, and grandfather of Brandon and brother of Steve Kaplan. We remember during Shloshim Erwin Geltzer, brother of David Geltzer, and Harold Rabinowitz, father of Michael Rabinowitz, and grandfather of Joel, Sabrina, and Ariel. On their yortzites this past week, we remember Hubert Rademan, father of Michelle Bernstein, Sadie Steinberg, mother of Gail Wiener, Alvin Roth, grandfather of Bethany Epstein, Elisheva Rahimi, mother of Ayala Rahimi, Elaine Levy, mother of Marilyn Greenspan, Lynn Liss, wife of Sheldon Liss, Lillian Litz, grandmother of Paula Siegel, Vince O'Donnell, father of Denise Kolber, Morris Pashko, father of Bruce Pashko, Rose Jerinkes, great-aunt of Stephen Brand and Harold Middleberg, Emma Ocanto, sister of Cantor Ocanto Romo, Ben Lofchi, grandfather of Beth Teitelman, Daniel Berlin, uncle of Vivian Spector, Betty Hoffman, mother of Neil Hoffman, Richard Fetter, cousin of Joel Fetter, Morris Shapiro, grandfather of Dolly Botterman, Ella Katz, grandmother of Miriam Pollock, Abram Kamenir, brother of Rona Katz, Lena Cantor, grandmother of Harvey Cantor, Sidney Brooks, uncle of Eric Brooks, and Anna Rome, mother of Francine Block. Are there other yortzites we remember this past week? No. Mourners and those observing yortzite, please rise as you are able for the Mourner's Kaddish, page 124. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam umei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei d'kudusha brichu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah nishmaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We may be seated, and I'm delighted to invite Lindsay Miller. Yes, Lindsay Miller, one of our vice presidents, will offer the announcements. Thank you. Oh, he is cute.
We're both very cute. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Yasha Koach, Bob. Wonderful as always. Thank you, Rabbi. So I have a suggestion, Barbara. You should add chanting to the walking club.
Yes.
I love that. Put a little pep in your step, as Rabbi said. So, just a couple of things, because, as I always say, you can all read. But we did start our fall fundraiser, which is starting for Rosh Hashanah, with beautiful baskets that do you know what a cozy is? It's you can put it in your microwave, put a bowl in it. So apples, honey, chocolates, prayers are all going to be in that. So take a look at that after Shabbat. Our school supply drive is on. And lots more, as always, going on. So check your supplements, check the Dovetail. There's copies outside if you haven't seen it yet. I personally have a very good article in there, so you should read that. Also, I want to call your attention, up there too, to our new ramp. I don't know if you've noticed this, with our new handrails.
Here, wait, Lindsay.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of accessibility, here we go.
Oh, yes, thank you. I just wanted to call attention to the ramp. Some of you have noticed it, some of you may not have. This was because our previous ramp was really not too accessible to folks that really needed it. We really thought long and hard about this. We had folks come in. So if you see, it's now pretty flush to the floor, easier to come up. We had heard over the years that we needed something on this side as well as on this side for folks to be able to hold on to. So we're very happy about that. We've also touched up the cement to the ramp that leads up from the main sanctuary, so that's taken care of. So just so you know, behind the scenes, what we're doing and more to come. But I did want you to notice this if you haven't already, and if you haven't been in the sanctuary and this is your first time, and I'm thrilled to see you all here today. Take a look at it, walk on it. It doesn't squeak anymore. You're not going to trip over it. So there you go. And that's about it. Any other announcements that need to be made? Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm sorry, Meme? Oh, Trenton Thunder, yes, but the tickets are sold. So we have Jewish Heritage Night at Trenton Thunder this week, Men's Club, Alan's group, which I'm sorry, Jewish War Veterans, thank you, Alan. Lots of us will be there. It'll be a great night. So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you to Lindsay and to Suzanne and to everyone who made this ramp happen. I knew there was a reason that the AC in the chapel was not working tonight, and this is the reason. So we had to celebrate the new ramp. So thank you very much. I am delighted to invite children up to the bima. He can make his own way there. Are we doing Adon Olam or Yigdal, Bob?
Which would you prefer?
Leader's choice.
Okay.
But pick.
We'll do
It's on
Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, page 128. Okay. And Yasher Koach again to Bob. Thank you for leading tonight. Hello.
Hi. You want to do it with us?
You've done it.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Ter Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ed Nasa B'Chefsa Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'ya Harei Kichor HaKol Leva Adon Yimoch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'sheni Leham Shiloh Lehakbira, v'li reishi, v'li tachli, v'lo ha'oz, v'ha'misra, v'lo ha'oz, v'ha'misra, v'hu Eli, v'chai go'ali, v'tzor chevli, V'etzara, v'hunisi, umanosli, menat kosi, li'ekra, menat kosi, v'yom ekra, v'yado, afkid ruchi, v'ishan, v'ayira, v'imruchi, Yeviati Adonai li velo ira Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom. Come join us in the social hall for Oneg. Shakaf Bob. Thanks.
Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful.
All right. Sorry.
That was lovely. No, thank you. Just always want to make sure I was,
Your children are
Yeah.
great. Yes.